All right, let's talk NBA playoffs. Every year, teams grind through 82 games just to figure out who's for real and who's not. It's a system that's supposed to make sure the best teams come out on top. But in the crazy pressure cooker of the playoffs, sometimes that system just completely breaks down. And that's what we're getting into today. Those amazing underdog stories where the regular season stats get thrown out the window and, well, new legends are made. So, I gotta ask you, are the NBA playoffs really all that predictable? I mean, when the regular season is over and the brackets are all set, can you basically just pencil in the winners? Is it really just a cakewalk for the top-seeded teams? If you just look at the raw numbers, you'd probably say, yeah, absolutely. And this chart, wow, it just spells it out, doesn't it? The reality of the NBA is pretty clear. Get this, a crazy 90 out of 156 teams that ever made the finals were a number one seed. And if you're talking about who actually wins the whole thing, number one and number two seeds, they've won a combined 68 championships. The data doesn't lie. The teams that crush it in the regular season, they almost always crush it in the postseason too. But that's why we watch, right? For those moments when all that data, all those predictions just don't matter. When a team that nobody, and I mean nobody, gave a chance to decides to just flip the script. Those are the runs we never forget. Okay, so to really get how insane these underdog runs are, we've got to talk about the mountain they have to climb. Seriously, the entire playoff system is built by design to reward the best teams and make it almost impossible for a long shot to win. And it all starts with this: seeding. It's really simple. The more you win during the long 82-game regular season, the higher you're ranked. A number one seed? That means you've proven you're the best of the best in your conference. A number 8 seed? They probably had to fight for their lives just to sneak into the playoffs. And being that higher seed gets you the ultimate prize, home court advantage. In a 7-game series, this is huge. The better team gets to play 4 of those 7 games in their own building, with their own fans screaming their heads off. So if you're the underdog, not only do you have to beat a better team on paper, you have to do it in their house. That is a massive, massive mental and strategic hurdle to clear. Plus, the road to a title is just a total gauntlet. You have to win 4 best of 7 series. 4. That's at least 16 wins against the absolute best teams on the planet. It's a total war of attrition, and honestly, it's designed so only the strongest team is left standing at the end. Okay, so now that we know the rules, let's talk about the teams who broke them. And we have to start with one of the most legendary underdog stories, not just in basketball, but in all of sports, the 2007 Golden State Warriors. You might know them by their nickname, We Believe. I mean, just look at this on paper. It's almost a joke. You had the Dallas Mavericks, an absolute powerhouse that won 67 games. Their guy, Dirk Nowitzki, was the frickin' league MVP. They were supposed to cruise to a title. And who were they playing? The number 8 seed Warriors, a team that barely squeaked by with a winning record. This matchup screamed sweep. But here's where the story gets interesting, because this was a nightmare matchup for Dallas. See, the Warriors had already beaten them all 3 times in the regular season. Not only that, their coach, Don Nelson, had just coached Dallas, so he knew Dirk Nowitzki's game inside and out. And their whole style of play, this wild, fast-paced, small ball, it was the perfect kryptonite. It just totally threw the Mavericks off their game. And the result? It was absolute electricity. The Warriors, with Baron Davis playing out of his mind, didn't just squeak by. They flat-out dismantled the Mavericks, winning the series 4-2. That arena in Oakland, man, it was one of the loudest, most incredible scenes the NBA has ever witnessed. It was more than just a playoff upset. It was a full-blown movement. And this is the key takeaway. They made history. Yeah, they lost in the next round, but honestly, it didn't even matter. The We Believe Warriors were the first number 8 seed ever to win a 7-game series. They knocked off a 67-win team with the league MVP. They basically proved that if you get the right matchup and you have that unbreakable confidence, anything, and I mean anything, is possible. All right, so let's jump forward in time to a much more recent example that shows that underdog spirit is still very much alive. We're talking about the 2023 Miami Heat, who somehow took what the We Believe team did and cranked it up to 11. I mean, to really get how wild this was, you have to remember where this Heat team was at. They weren't just an 8 seed. They had to go through the play-in tournament just to get in. And they lost their first play-in game. They were literally 1 loss away from their season being completely over. Just look at this timeline. It shows the absolute gauntlet they had to run. They barely get into the playoffs, and what's their reward? The #1 seed Milwaukee Bucks. They beat them. Then they take down the #5 seed Knicks. And then, for the grand finale, they knock off the #2 seed Boston Celtics, a team everyone thought was going to the finals. And just remember, they did all of this without home court advantage, not once. And if you want to know just how insane that Celtics series was, just look at this number. According to ESPN's computer models, Boston had a 97% chance of winning the series. 97%. The Heat didn't care. They went up 3-0, survived a crazy comeback from the Celtics, and then won Game 7 in Boston. Unbelievable. And that win put them in some seriously rare company. The Heat became only the second #8 seed in the entire history of the NBA to make it all the way to the finals. The only other team to do it was the '99 Knicks. Now, they didn't end up winning the championship, but that run they went on, absolutely won for the ages. So, okay, winning one series as an underdog is historic. Getting all the way to the finals, that's basically a miracle. But actually, winning the whole thing, finishing the job, well, that brings us to the ultimate quest for the crown. And this is what it's all about, the Larry O'Brien Trophy. This beautiful thing is made of sterling silver with a 24-karat gold finish, and it represents basketball immortality. Every single player in the league, this is what they dream about holding one day. But for an underdog, getting your hands on that trophy is the rarest achievement of all. Think about it. It's like the final impossible boss battle in a video game. It's one thing to pull off a surprise win in one round. It is a completely different challenge to keep that magic going for 2 solid months, mostly on the road, and be the very last team standing. And when you look at the lowest seeds to ever actually win the whole thing, this list is shockingly short. You have the '69 Celtics as a #4 seed, but really the undisputed kings of the underdog champions are the 1995 Houston Rockets. As a #6 seed, nobody gave them a shot. But with Hakeem Olajuwon playing at a godlike level, they beat 3 teams that had won 60, 59, and 62 games. And they did it all without home court advantage. That run is arguably the greatest in NBA history. And that really brings everything full circle, doesn't it? It proves that the playoffs are just a different beast. Things like matchups, momentum, and just pure heart can matter way more than what a team did over 82 games. It's the ultimate reminder that, when it really counts, seeding is just a number. So I'll leave you with this to think about. The We Believe Warriors, the 2023 Heat, they didn't win it all, but their journeys are legendary. The '95 Rockets did win it all, and they're immortalized for it. So what really defines a legacy? Is it only about hoisting that trophy? Or is there something just as special about that incredible, unbelievable journey that defies all the odds and makes us all believe?